enough to hate those who hate me.
Amen.
Hate them.
If you really love me, then how can you be friends with those who hate me?
That's it.
Because if you're going to have friendship with somebody, then you got to have some type of common ground.
Amen.
If you're going to have friendship with somebody, you got to have some type of common ground where y'all can vibe together. So you got to have some type of common. How can you have common ground with those who hate your God? Those who despise your God. Those who mock your God. They make fun of your worship. They make fun of your church. They make fun of your faith. They make fun of your lifestyle. They make fun of you when you quote the word of God. How can you have fellowship? How can you have peace with those who mock what is sacred to you?
Jesus.
The Bible says that should be a problem.
Amen.
All right. How you going to be friends with somebody who mock what you stand for? When you mock, when they mock what you believe in, when they mock something that is holy and dear to you, something that's dear to you, and they're mocking it, how in the world can you rejoice and party and have a good time with somebody who thinks that your life, that your faith, that your devotion to God is a joke? You can't have peace with that person. The only way you can have peace with that person is if you deny your God. The only way you can have peace with somebody who is walking in darkness is if you deny your God. That's the only way. If you open your mouth and speak the word of God, that person is going to be angry. They're going to be upset. They're going to have a problem. The only way you can have peace in the midst of darkness is if you deny your God.
Jesus.
You got to deny him. And Jesus said, if you deny me before men, he said, I deny you before my Father.
Yes.
If you refuse to open your mouth when you get around so-and-so and you start to act like you don't know me when you get around so-and-so and you start behaving like you ain't never met me when you get around so-and-so, he said, you are denying me before them. And if you deny me before them, I will deny you before my Father. I'm looking for a bold soldier who will stand up for Christ and say, I love him. Even though you hate him, I love him. Because he delivered my life from a bunch of sin. He delivered my life from guilt. And if you hate him, that's okay. But I love him.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Jesus.
I love him. And I'm not going to be quiet.
Jesus.
I love it. I'm not going to let you intimidate me. I love it. I'm not going to let you make me walk in darkness because you are threatening me. I love it. And I'm going to stand on that because he has been too good to me.
Yes. Amen.
Bible says, how in the world can you love those who hate me? The only way you can love those who hate me is if you start denying me in their presence.
My God.
You deny me, then I'm going to deny you. Come on, let's move on a little bit here. Let's go to the book of Titus 1 and 16. Titus 1 and 16. Titus 1 and 16, that's behind Timothy. Titus 1 and 16, listen to what he says here. Verse number 16, he says, they profess that they know God. They say they know me. But in works they deny me, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work a reprobate. He says, you say that you know me. You say that you love me. You say that we are acquainted, that we have fellowship. That's what you said with your mouth. That's the confession of, that's what your mouth said. But he says, but your life tells something else.
That's it.
He says your life tells a different story. He says where you go and where you spend your time and who you spend your time with and what you embrace when you're not in church. He said that tells a different story than what you said on Sunday morning. He said with your mouth you say you love me, but your life tells a different story.
Amen.
Jesus.
He says your mouth says you love me, but your life says you hate me.
My God.
Your life says you don't love me. Your life says you don't like me. Your life says you have no respect for me. Because if you had respect for me, you wouldn't go where you go.
Amen.
Y'all watch that movie Boomerang?
My God.
The girl say love would have brought you home. You say you love me, but the fact that you didn't come home says you don't love me. Love would have brought you home.
That's right.
Because it's easy to say I love. It's a whole nother thing to live love. It's a whole nother thing to live love. There's a difference between what people call love and what the Bible calls love. A lot of people, let me give you a side note here, a lot of people got it confused between love and lust. Love and lust is not the same thing. Because love is continuous. And love does not fail. And love does not hold grudges. And love forgives. And love does not break down. The Bible says that love does not fail. That's in the book of Corinthians, the 13th chapter. He says love does not fail. So if your love failed, it wasn't love, it was just lust.
Amen.
People get love and lust confused because a lot of times they look similar. They look similar, but the problem with lust is that lust don't last. Lust does not last. Lust does not last. That's the problem. That's the difference between love and lust. Lust does not last. Lust will motivate them for a moment. Lust will make them say things for a while and make them behave a certain way for a while. But when lust has been fulfilled, the change happens.
Yes.
Because it's not love. Love does not stop. Love is continuous. It remains faithful. Love is there even when you're upset, it's still there. Love is there even when you're angry, it's still there. Love is there when the money is good. Love is there when the money is not good. Love is there when you're sick. Love is there when you're healed in your body. Love does not fail. That's the difference. If you have the problem with it, is that a lot of times we don't realize it ain't love until it's too late.
Amen.
A lot of times we don't realize it ain't love until we don't get ourselves in something we can't walk away from. Because love and lust look similar, but they're not the same. Love does not fail. Love does not quit. It does not give in. It does not throw in the towel. Love stands strong. Even with tears in its eyes, it stands strong. When you think about love, God loves me with an everlasting love. He has not given up on me. He has not thrown in the towel. He has not walked away from me. He remains faithful. Even when I'm not faithful, he still remains faithful. Even when I stumble, he is still there for me. He is a God of love. He loves me. When you understand the difference between lust and love, it'll deliver you from a whole lot of people.
Amen.
It'll set you free from a whole lot of people when you understand the difference between lust and love. You don't love me, you just lust me. And the moment lust has been conceived, all that what you were saying and all that energy and all that chasing you was doing, you ain't doing it no more because you've been satisfied.
Amen.
But if you love me, love continues. Love perseveres. Love, the Bible says, faileth not.
Faileth not.
It faileth not. Okay, come on. Let's go back to, that was a side note. Let's go back to Titus, 1st chapter, verse number 16. This is what he says here. He says, they profess that they know God. This is the confession. You say you know God, but in works, that means your lifestyle. In your lifestyle, you deny him. In your lifestyle, you deny. You said you know him. You said you were saved. You said you was born again. You said you was redeemed. You even sung the song that said you was a child of God. But he says, but in your works, you deny him. In your works, you deny him. In your work, in the way you live your life. I'm not talking about your confession. I'm not talking about what you said. I'm talking about what you live in.
Yeah.
About what you live in. I'm talking about the example that you're putting out there. Your lifestyle says not only that you don't know him, your lifestyle says you hate him. That's what your lifestyle says. Because not only aren't you living right, but your lifestyle is causing other people to stumble because you have named the name of Christ and you're still walking in sin. So it's not just that you don't like him, you hate him. Because you're causing other people to stumble. Because you told them you was a Christian. And you told them you were saved. And you told them you love the Lord. But they see you jumping from bed to bed. They know that your life ain't living up to what you say. And so with your mouth you said you love him. But with your lifestyle you denied him. Listen to what the Bible says. Verse number 16. He says, being abominable That's your lifestyle. He says being abominable and disobedient. It's not that you don't know what you're supposed to do. That's what it means to be disobedient. To disobey means you know what you're supposed to do. You choose not to do it.
Yep.
You know which way you're supposed to go. You're not ignorant. You know the truth. You know the way. It's just that you choose to go in a different way. Why? Because it feels good to your flesh. Let's just be real. The Bible says they like darkness because the deeds can be hid in the darkness. The reason why we want to do it is because it feels good. That's the reason why we like sin. Sin feels good to the flesh. And so we do certain things because it gratifies our flesh. But the Bible says the whole time that you are gratifying your flesh, he says you are denying me and you are making a mockery of me among those who are around you. He says, how can those who are my children, who have been washed by my blood, who have been established at my right hand, who have been filled and sanctified with my Holy Ghost, he says, how can my children get down from where I put them and go and wallow in the slop with the filth? Because, okay, let me slow down a little bit. I told y'all, get last week's tape on grace. Because once God establishes me with grace and positions me as his son, the enemy now comes to get me to deny what God has done. Talked about this a little bit in Bible study. He will present things and people and opportunities to deny, to desecrate my God. And so the enemy is trying everything he can to pull me away from where God has placed me. He's doing everything he can to get me to move. You see, because God has washed me.
Yes.
Yeah. God has forgiven me.
Yes.
God has cleansed me of all unrighteousness.
Yes.
God has made me his son. He has clothed me with the robe of righteousness. And I am his child. But now the devil comes around and the devil sees what God has done. And the devil says, come on, Corey, come down from where God has put you and come down here and play with me.
Jesus.
When Satan attacked Job, he wasn't concerned about Job. He was concerned about Job's testimony. He said, I'm going to make him curse you. I'm going to make him. She said she loved you. But I'm going to send this man her way, and this man going to make her curse you. She said that she was the temple. He said that he was the temple of the Holy Ghost. But when I send this woman his way, he's going to come down from where you put him because this woman is going to be too much for him to resist. That money is going to be too much for him to resist. That pride is going to be too much for him to resist. That get payback is going to be too much for him to resist. I'm going to show him something that's going to make him get up from where you put him. I'm going to make him get up off the seat and come down here and play in the filth with me. That's what the devil says.
Jesus.
I'm going to make him deny you as God. I'm going to show he's not going to be able to resist what I'm going to show him. He's not going to be able to resist what I'm going to tell him. He's not going to be able to resist this temptation. Let me tell you something about temptation. You're going to always have temptation. Matter of fact, let's go to the book of Romans. Let's go to Romans. Let's go to Romans. We're going to move just a little bit. I'm going to hold you long today. Romans the 6th chapter. Romans the 6th chapter. We're going to talk about temptation a little bit. Romans 6 and 10. It says, for in that he died, talking about Christ, in that Christ died, he died unto sin once. But in that he liveth unto God. Likewise, this is what he says to first verse number 10, he talks about Christ. Verse number 11, he talks about me. He said, let me read it again. Verse number 10 talks about Christ. For in that Christ died, he died unto sin once. But in that he liveth unto God. When Christ died, he died to sin one time. He didn't keep having to die to sin. He died to sin one time. He made up his mind that according as far as sin is concerned, he's dead to sin. He didn't have to die every day. He died to sin one time. Now I know that somebody done told you that you die daily. That ain't got nothing to do with sin. When the Bible says I die daily, he was not talking about sin. He was talking about physical death. When Paul said I die daily, he was not talking about sin. He was talking about physical death. He was saying my physical life is on the line every day. Every day of my life, they trying to kill me. He was not talking about dying to sin. When he talks about dying to sin, he says one time. We're going to do this thing one time, and we're going to come to the point where sin is no longer going to be an issue in my life. I'm dead to sin. I'm dead to fornication. I'm dead to adultery. I'm dead to backbiting. I'm dead to stealing. I'm dead. I'm not going to let it live in me any longer. I'm not going to let it live in me any longer. I'm putting it to rest. I'm burying this. We spend too much time wrestling with foolishness. We spend too much as Christians. We spend too much time. You're still dealing with the same stupidness. You're still doing the same foolishness that you've been doing for the last 2 years, the last 3 years. You're not changing. You're not growing. You're doing the same fool. He says, I died once to sin, and I left it alone. He said, in that I live now, I live unto the glory of God. I live to Christ now. My life is Christ now. I live for him now. I don't do what I want to do anymore. I live for him now. I let him dictate my life. I let him dictate what I do and what I don't do. I let him dictate where I go and where I don't go. If this place is going to be an embarrassment to him, then I'm not going there. If going there is going to shame him, if it's going to mess with my testimony, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to let Christ lead me. I'm going to let Christ guide me. If what you're doing is not going to glorify God, then I cannot be a part of it. I'm sorry. I ain't got nothing against you, but I can't get involved in this because it's going to mess up my life. It's going to contaminate my testimony, and I'm not going to let that happen. I'm dead to sin.
Amen.
I'm dead to sin. He said, die one time. You don't die every day. He said, die one time to sin. Make it up in your mind that this is finished. This is finished. If you ain't my husband, we ain't having sex. You ain't my wife, we not having sex. If that ain't my money, I'm not going to take it. If it ain't the truth, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to get on the phones and talk about so-and-so with you. I'm not going to bite. I'm not going to spread rumors. I'm not going to be involved with he say, she say. I've made up my mind. I'm dead to that. I'm not going to cause division. I'm not going to let division go out of my mouth and mess this up. No, I'm dead to sin. I'm not going to spread rumors. I'm not going to bite. I'm dead to sin.
Amen.
I'm not going to dress like that. I'm not going to wear that. I'm dead to sin.
Yes.
Thank you, Lord.
Holiness.
Holiness.
When I was in the world, it was okay to wear that. But now that I named the name of Christ, I can't wear it no more.
Amen.
Jesus.
Got a God to glorify. I can't go there anymore. Because I got a God to glorify. What should my response be based on what Jesus has done for me? How should I respond to his grace? You're going to take my grace and spit in my face? You're going to take my grace and still trample me under? You're going to take my grace and still go out there and fornicate and live unrighteously? Even though you know what I did for you, I hung on the cross for you, I bled and died, I let them beat me for you, and you don't have no more love till to do that to me.
Jesus. Help us, Lord.
How can the temple of God
Merciful Savior.
continue with uncleanness?
Okay.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of the living God? Know ye not? Don't you understand? I lived in you, and when you laid down with him, when you laid down with her, you made me a part of that fornication. Know ye not? Know ye not that when you went in there and got drunk, I was in there with you. You made me a part of that foolishness. When you cussed him out, you made me a part of that. Know ye not that
Jesus.
you are my temple? I live in you. You made me a part of that.
Amen.
You said you love me, but your works, your life did not